This Penny. Oh man, she has been fixed. A lot of other bugs and things got broken, but Penny Parker got tougher to fight. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it is time for War 9 of the season. We have 8 fights for you, including the scariest Penny Parker I have ever faced. Sometimes I guess it is better to be lucky than good, and we will definitely get into that. That's my puppy Nova. She's finally getting to hang out in the office a little bit when I'm working on videos. So let's see how this goes. There's always timestamps in the description so you can jump around, especially in case you're not interested in hearing this, but selling lucky hats and t-shirts. This is the lucky hat. I'm finally making them. I'm going to be ordering 3 for myself. You're going to see me wearing them a lot on stream and about and around town. And then also the 2022 shirt is up. Last year, we did the variant shirt. I wear this all the time. I love it. I have like 8 of them. I'm going to probably be ordering the similar number of the Steven with a V. As soon as I heard that line in the show Moon Knight, I was like, I love this show. That needs to be the shirt for 2022. The link to purchase these, if you're interested, will be in the description. Orders will be up until May 20th, at which time all of it will be closed and all orders will be processed. So if you're interested, make sure you get your order in then. All right, let's go ahead and jump directly to the war. We're up in this first fight here against Tigra. This has, I believe it's going to be Kinetic Transference on it. We will be starting off with a Wither Up because of the anti-venom synergy, which will really not trivialize this fight, but it's going to take that whole Kinetic Transference part that should have made this difficult and make it really rather easy. You're going to see I'm going to focus into hitting into her block when Miguel has a Wither Up. Every hit into the box going to give a Rupture, and that's just what we're going to do. Of course, I will also try to get her above a bar power so we can pop all those Ruptures on her or explode them, or I don't remember exactly what the term is. But there you go, and you're seeing it. We're even getting pretty nice Rupture RNG there just from the basic hits, but landing into her block, we're already up to 8. I'm also have the SP1 boost. I was just wanted to make sure this fight hadn't taken it before, and it's also going to help out in the next fight. So that's what that was all about. Just evade that SP1 of hers, and the fight's done. So there we go. Like I said, Nova's working on being in the room when I record. So this is going, we'll see how this goes. It might be an adventure we take together. Thank you for coming along with me for it. So now we're going up against this fight against a Kingpin. Now this is actually a pretty tough fight, a little scary. I've got a perfect counter for it. The Vivified and the fact that he benefits from the unstoppable armor combined to make it a pretty tough fight. Now I'm checking out the SIG ability on my Bishop. You can see my Bishop's a SIG 180. I think that's going to make him go unblockable at about like 12 to 13 prowess. So there we go. I'm getting the prowess pretty good. Now you can tell I have not taken this fight before, so I'm still trying to kind of figure it out. Like my biggest concern was getting stuck on my side of the screen and just, you know, something going wrong, which actually does happen in my next video. So it's possible. But here we go. I'm going to set up for the SP2, and I think that's a mistake. I think that's a mistake because I'll show you right here. We're about to go in and throw it. Now, I want to be mindful of the unstoppable armor timer, but this should be plenty of time to get off my SP2, so I don't need to be too worried about him going unstoppable in there. But I wasn't pleased with it. You know, that wasn't enough. We're still getting some damage from the Incinerate. So I guess it wasn't necessarily bad, but if the SP1 can do similar amounts of damage and it's a lot quicker to get to, might as well go that. So watch what happens here as we throw the SP1, which will trigger our steady release, which will make it so that we are putting out those Incinerates on him when he gets near us. It's a bit like almost like a damaging aura type of situation. So here we go. So you can see he's close to getting those Incinerates on him. He purifies some of them, especially as he goes into his rage mode. Lots of damage. I think that's the way to go, especially as you can trigger and make him purify them and go into his rage mode, right? If he doesn't trigger them, once he gets to 8, he will, and then you're going to get all that nice damage there, plus the damage from the Incinerates while they're on him. So going into this fight against Heimdall, there's a lot going on, but basically it's power snack and him having unstoppable armor. It's tricky because when he gets 100 of those passive armor ups, he will trigger an armor up, giving him the possibility of going unstoppable. So not only do we have the unstoppable armor timer itself, which you can see trickling down, but also the possibility of getting the armor himself right there. So you saw it. There was an opportunity for that to happen. That's why I backed up so quickly. Ultimately, what I want to do is just get to my SP3, get my slow up, punish with my heavies when I can there. So that was nice. and I'd love to keep up my wither. Now, I think it was in 2 war videos ago, my inputs just stopped working. I've been running the refactor that's been available to the CCP and then now put out to everyone. And I don't know. And I don't, this isn't the video for it, but needless to say, I'm incredibly disappointed. And about in the middle of last season, I was ready to walk away from high tier war until the input issues were fixed. The refractor came in and I felt like it fixed a lot of the issues, or at least my mistakes were my own. I controlled my champion, and now we're back to a state where sometimes you don't. And I'm watching this happen, and at the time I didn't want to blame it on that, but I've fought some Mordo since, and there seems to be something particular about him, his reach in extra large champions, that is continuing to cause problems. I do not believe that the refactor that the CCP had access to a while ago is the same one that's working in game now, or at least something is different or has changed. It is incredibly frustrating to me. Now, I still have some control over the fight. Fortunately, Heimdall is not hitting very hard, so I don't, I'm not dead. I've got my slow up. I now have the wither up. So the fight is pretty much in control. I'm going to try not to do anything too fancy and get myself killed in the meantime. You're going to see it's going to turn out okay. This fight could be a little smoother, as we talk about in all Spider-Man 99 fights, Miguel fights. For me, when it's this power gain, power snack, anything like this, the key is keeping up your wither. It makes playing Miguel a little bit more frustrating with input control issues, making decks harder, right? Because that's how you pause all of your debuffs, but it is what it is. You can see I've lost my slow, and so as a result, he does actually go unstoppable and has the effects of unstoppable. It's just really frustrating for me to watch back. I will cover War 10, 11, and 12 all in one video, and I will have a bit of an announcement to make or something like that, and I'll just kind of cover it all at once. We'll have some fun with it. It'll be a good time, and you guys will see that. That'll come out eventually. It depends on when you watch this. So there we go. You saw him go unstoppable. I'm still at 60% health, so I really wasn't worried about the fight itself. Just very frustrating. Very frustrating. We'll move on to the cool fights here in a minute here against Thing and Peni. Though they're coming up right now. So here we go. There's my buddy Peter. I'm putting a positive spin on it, saying, revenge doesn't have to be clean. It's always beautiful. And he's right. That's the way to look at those things. So here we go. We're going against this Spite, Rise to Power. Miguel is just going to take care of that for us because of the anti-venom synergy. This is very similar to the last fight where I'm actually really wanting to get to my SP3 so I can land the slow. And that'll make it so that it doesn't really matter when I hit Thing. I don't need to worry about his rock stacks very much because he can go unstoppable, but he won't get the effects of being unstoppable. So here we go. I do need to be mindful of his rock stacks as we build up to that SP3 though. So this is kind of interesting. This is kind of an interesting take for me. I don't really enjoy fighting Thing with champions who mess with his mechanics. I've gotten very used to fighting Thing on that 15 rock stack counter, but Miguel handles this node so well that this makes a ton of sense, and you're going to see how well this can work out. So there we go. Just happy to have Thing throw his special. There's also something about this interaction that kind of plays into Miguel's flow because you want to be hitting into the block anyway. You're landing rupture, so it's a nice interaction actually between Miguel and Thing once the wither is up. You can see I have full control of Miguel. Like I'm dexing when I want to, when I intend to. The hitboxes are all making sense. It's all working. You can see we've gotten a little bit of trouble there because I thought he was blocking. He obviously wasn't. That's a mistake on my part. So I end up intercepting him, throwing him unstoppable. But when Miguel has that wither up, he has that increased 25% combat power rate. So I've said this before in other videos, sometimes the mistake almost ends up helping you as long as you don't get killed. We now have the slow up because we got to the SP3. He was stunned off that, but it's all good. It's all good. As long as I don't lose that slow debuff, we are totally fine. So I think I'm hitting into the block net there. Really not a good idea. I shouldn't have. Should get my SP2 and get my wither back up and make sure I'm able to pause the slow, because at this point the slow has become the most important debuff for me. So throw the SP2 and finish it off. Obviously that fight could go a little bit smoother. This first time I had taken it, so if I take it again, I would imagine it would, but that's the basic strategy and it works out really well. Now, this Peni. Oh man, she has been fixed. A lot of other bugs and things got broken, but Penny Parker got tougher to fight. Yeah. So here we go, healing up, right? Gonna make sure we're at full health. I also realized this is now a rank 4 Penny. Had not realized that before. Aspect of Evolution, Kinetic Transference. I think I need to watch DLL's How to Fight Penny Parker video again, because this is a brutal, brutal fight. Brutal. So here we go. I'm gonna put in the invulnerability. In hindsight, I don't know if that's a good idea. I think the Power Start 1 may be better to get up those withers, keep them up, because you don't want to lose your wither in this fight. You just don't. It is so incredibly important. So here we go. As you know, we're going to be hitting into her block in order to land our ruptures, but also to knock down her sync shield. There's another fight where hitting into the block is not just helpful to get your damage going, but there's another positive reason for it, right? Here we're getting down her sync shield. It's that passive pink in the upper right-hand corner. Right now, I'm like, this fight is, we're owning this. I'm feeling so good. Those who don't know, the big change is that we cannot punish with our heavy here. Normally, I would have punished with the heavy there, but now she can auto block you and you get that power burn. So you really can't do that. So I've got to start managing her sync shield. So now that's down. I was late on that. That wasn't good. That was not good. That was mistake number 1. And now I've lost my wither, which is a really big deal. So she doesn't have her sync shield charges. I want to hurry up and get to my SP2 as quickly as possible. She played into it. I got pretty lucky there with a nice parry. And now I'm back to feeling pretty good. The problem is her spider sense charges are starting to get kind of high. It's not this one, but if I think with one more SP1, she has that chance to power burn me. Also, she now has 14 spider sense charges and her sync shield is completely replenished. See, there's that power burn, and we're starting to see it, which means I'm not going to be able to build power. It is really important that I keep this wither up and keep hitting into her block, but I've got to keep up the wither. Did not mean to parry there. That's why I smartly didn't go in and punish, but that parry is going to hurt. It's going to hurt because it takes time. I'm not able to replenish my wither. I tried to get it there, but I didn't. You see how quickly we're now losing our ruptures. And right now, I know it looks health, like we talk about the health battle, I'm kicking her butt. What I should have done here was parried, 5-hit combo. Maybe I have to do that once, maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe in that fight, because she doesn't have her sync shield, right? But I didn't do it. And now I'm stuck. Now I'm in no man's land. You saw, I realized it too late. And I'm hitting to her block. I'm getting those auto blocks. I really just don't know what to do at this point. I don't want to lose my ruptures. What do you think happens? Because of kinetic transference, she gained the power. I did not have wither up. That power sent her to 3 bars. Getting to the 3 bars of power, she crossed a power threshold. Those 2 ruptures took off the final 2% of her health. I would love to tell you it was some big brain play, but it wasn't. It was absolutely not. I was sitting there just trying to figure out what the heck can I do? I've messed up. I had so many opportunities to win that fight. I had it won. What were we up, like 90% to like 6 or something like that in health? I had that fight won and I let her back in. I'd love to tell you it was a big brain play. It was not. I got incredibly, incredibly lucky. That's how good Miguel is. But we talked about the theory. We talked about the fight itself. You know how to take it. If I take that again this season, I think we'll be just fine. I'll be really happy with how I do, I believe. So, and now a fight that you have only seen me take 300 to 400 times. Mangog on 54. I've seen this fight go sideways. I have never died to this fight, at least to the best of my knowledge. If you've seen me do it, please remind me. I forget things. But I've taken this fight with Magic. I've taken this fight, I think, with, I don't know, so many champions. Or so many times. And you've seen me take it with Miguel. Once it got a little bit scary because I just was so bored with this fight that I forgot to refresh my withers. But if you haven't seen this before, I'll repeat it because it is important. Make sure your wither is up. Prioritize that over everything else. You don't want to be 5-hit comboing Mangog anyway because it gives him an energy resist and also more of his rage stats, which will cause him to go unstoppable and unblockable when he throws a special when he gets to 10. So there we go. Got to keep an eye on the unstoppable armor timer anyway, so you're going to see me kind of wait this out. I now know he's at 9. When he throws this special 1, he's going to go unstoppable and unblockable. That's totally fine. I can interrupt it or intercept it with a special if I want, which will cancel out the unstoppable, or as you can see, he's got that little timer, that 10 timer, that'll go away. Plus, it was smart to remember that the unstoppable armor timer was also going on. So even if I had intercepted with that special, canceling his rage unstoppable, he still would have had the unstoppable from the unstoppable armor timer, which is why I didn't do anything about it and just waited that time out. Okay, moving on to a fight that I've taken, I think, one less than I have that Mangog, which is now Nimrod on node 52. Folks, I'm not going to go full Lizer and tell everyone that they need to start banning Corvus. She's probably right. But don't put Nimrod on the boss node. It just, I mean, I know I have a rank 4 Sig 200 Spider-Man 99, but I imagine most tier 1 attackers do as well. And maybe they're getting kills and I just don't realize, but I really don't think so. So this is a very, very simple fight, guys. If you end up taking this, you've seen me take it against rank 4 Nimrods, a ton of rank 3s. It's pretty much the same thing against Sasquatches. You want to get, because they benefit from the unstoppable armor timer, you want to get to your SP3, which is why I started off with an advanced power boost as opposed to an indestructible. Put on the recoil masteries, the bleed and the poison. You're going to be healing back up anyway. You might as well hit extremely hard. And you'll be healing back up because there's a true strike on the node. Miguel takes 75% reduced damage. And then you can just play kind of like an insane person. You're seeing me just kind of bounce around, have some fun. I want to get to my SP3. I've appeared to have lost my Wither again, which I've gotten very, very bored with this fight. I've gotten very bored with it. But you want to keep up your Wither like you do in any other Miguel fight. That way when you hit into the block, you can land those ruptures. But then you want to get to your SP3 to get the slow up, so you don't need to worry about the unstoppable armor. I don't remember if it's this fight or another one. I think there's a way you could actually die besides the game just not working, which is now apparently a possibility. But it could happen if you take an SP2 to the face while Nimrod is in his the orange protocol. I can't think of the name of it right now. It's not Titan or his Eradicate. And then you get that elongated shock. I could see it maybe happening. And maybe it's in this one where I really just stop, like, I let up and I get hit and I get down in health pretty far. Maybe it's this one, maybe it's not. But that's the gist. That's the gist of this. If you're looking for a really good review on, I think when I fought the R4, I did go into more kind of depth, or I had a little less like clear that I'm bored with this fight attitude about it. And this was really fun. I just have taken it so many times. And one of the things that's fun about War is that it's by far currently the most dynamic mode. I think this might be it. Maybe I missed? No. It's currently by far the most dynamic mode in the game. You know, AQ, you log in and you take literally the exact same fights every single day. But in War, you know, especially like in the higher tiers, I don't know in the lower tiers, maybe it's the same exact way, but in the higher tiers, they're placing different defenders and you're like, oh, I get to use some different teams and some attack teams. It's really cool. But Mangog and Nimrod are just, I don't know. I don't know why people keep placing them there, but they do. All right, so we won this war. We're doing really, really well now. Congratulations to Let 'em Taters, OJ, and Clowniest Clown. Let's go ahead and take a look at the season stats. All right, season stats, most important one always for me, for Loki. We're 5-4. We're well in Masters now. I think we still probably got to win the next 2 there, or 2 of the next 3 to finish that off, but that's our goal, so it feels great to be there. 48 kills, 3 deaths. 2 of them are just due to brutal input issues. One was me just having a brain fart. It is what it is. 3 boss solos, 3 Miguel. It is what it is. 12 total champions, which I absolutely love. We've talked about that before, and then 4 defender kills. So I'm really excited about that. I love using the diversity of my roster. I love playing Miguel, and I love these Miguel fights. But man, please stop placing Mangog and Nimrod. I beg you. You know, we're not going to track the loyalty anymore. I am tracking it, but I'm not going to add that portion because I know the big announcements from Kabam have come out. Let me know though. Let me know how you're feeling about those. I really haven't had a lot of time to review them and try to decide if I think it's enough. So I would really appreciate your input. Thank you so much for watching. I hope your season is going very, very well. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.